You are getting all of the laughs from me today because it looked like it said it didn't go live. So then I stopped the video and then it was live. So I restarted the video. So I feel like you got a lot of the Dr. Ericka song today. Well, welcome to my glorious hotel room. I guess you can tell from the background. I don't usually give you a view of the bed, but that's how the lighting was speaking to me today. So, welcome to this episode of Growth Groove with Dr. Ericka. I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, and I am so excited to have you with me today. I need you to do me a couple of little favors for me. You ready? First thing, if you know someone that needs this, please tag them. The next is if you know someone that needs this, share. Sharing is caring. And the last thing is if you're watching it later, don't even worry about it. Just put hashtag replay in the comments. And thanks for dealing with my technical difficulties. So I'm so excited to be here tonight with you to talk about something that really kind of touched my heart. This is 3 ways to make things better when things don't go your way. Sometimes they just don't. Or sometimes your day just starts off kind of wonky. And the one thing I wanted to talk about is how to keep these challenges that can happen throughout your day from ruining your day. And just to remind you that we have the power to adjust, to pivot, to reframe, to do all these things so that if things just don't go quite as expected, we're good. So I want to tell you a little bit while we're on talk about this is partly because I had a situation yesterday. I started a new locum tenens job because, in addition to my own private practice, my virtual private practice, Goodwin Medical Associates, I also do some contract work as a traveling psychiatrist, and I got somewhere and things didn't quite go as expected. I had some really sick patients, so they needed a lot. I was working on trying to find my keys and stuff and get IDs. It was just a lot of stuff. And then it was so crazy. I get kind of hangry. I didn't even get to eat lunch till 4:45, which made me think of kind of what can we do when things don't go right. But the other thing that happened is the other day, there's a restaurant up here that I totally love. And I was really looking forward to eating this bowl. And they didn't have any of the bowls I liked. So I had to come up with a plan B because there was nothing else I wanted to eat at the restaurant. But I wasn't going to let them not having the food I want turn the day into something funky. So I want to just talk to you a little bit about that. So again, I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard trained double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I'm on a mission to help people be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry. I do that through my books, including Picture Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy. I also do that through my speaking and my hit podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. I do all that to help busy people like you that give and give and give to actually have someone give to you so that you can actually give to yourself so that you can put you back in your life. So thanks for coming in. As you come in, just let me know what you're doing and where you are coming in from. So let's go ahead and get moving on this. So as I told you, I had something just pop up. Didn't quite go exactly as planned, but we made them work. And I wanted to talk to you about that because if I'm honest, that's probably one of my superpowers. I'm very adaptable. I'm like literally a chameleon at times. And I'm really good at, as they say, turning lemons into lemonade. So I wanted to kind of share some of that magic with you. One of the other reasons to share this with you is we're all stressed. People are already stressed to capacity. So we're trying to give you some of your capacity back. And if you are upset or frustrated with the situation, then that's going to use up some of that capacity that could be used for something else. And also, when things don't go your way and you get out of sorts, it can compound other mood issues. So if you're already kind of on the edge, it can make you feel more depressed or more anxious or more irritable. And none of those are fun emotions. So are you ready to get started? I hope so. And as I said before, just let me know where you're in the chat and feel free to tag and share. So the first thing you can do when things don't go your way, and this is something that you can apply kind of to anything. So it can be something as small as you stubbed your toe when you got out of bed, you were driving to work and you hit massive traffic, to you were trying to get a job and it didn't work out, or you were working on a project and it's taking longer than you anticipated. You were trying to get a burger and all they had were veggie burgers. It works on a lot of stuff. You ready? So let's go ahead and check number one. And I have two of my favorite people on here, including my This is my Christmas movie bestie. And Christmas movies are actually one of my secret weapons to feeling better. And I know that doesn't work for everybody because everyone doesn't love Christmas movies like myself and Dr. INA do. And also, my mom loves them too. But let's go ahead and get to it. So, the first one is a reframe. And I always feel like I need to do all of this with that. And when I talk about reframing, we're just going to change the perspective. So, it's getting out of that mindset that if you hit a challenge, you hit a bump, something doesn't go right, that's a determiner of how your day is. It's kind of like if you get stuck in traffic, oh, I'm going to have a horrible day. And we want to reframe it. I'm having some difficulty getting there. I'm going to get there. When I get there, I'm going to do my best. There's nothing I can do about traffic but ride. To situations where you're dealing with, you will take the dinner situation, is, well, maybe there's someplace else with a better meal for me right now. To dealing with if you had even an argument or disagreement with someone you care about, like, this is an opportunity for us to grow and to get better as we work through this issue. But the first thing is just kind of reframe. So we're going to take the situation, and it's not necessarily, I want to underscore that we're not talking about toxic positivity of like, the sun will come out tomorrow, everything's great. Sometimes it's a little difficult, but it's reframing so that it's not a situation where it becomes gloom and doom or catastrophic unnecessarily. There are times where things are catastrophic. So I want to let space for that. Somebody died. That's different than just kind of dealing with a typical challenge. Okay. The next one is, remember that your day can get better, that single events or even a couple events don't have to totally shape exactly what your total experience of the day is going to be. And one of the reasons I say that is, especially, there's so many things that happen in our morning. So we talked about, you can get out of bed and stub a toe. You turn the water on too hot in your shower. You can make your coffee or tea in the morning and burn your mouth. You can be making your lunch and spill it. Your kids could spit up or spill stuff on you or get the floor super sticky. You could have a toddler having a tantrum. There are all these things that happen in the morning: traffic, trains to catch, buses to catch, buses to get kids to school, all of these things. So, there's just this space for things to just go a little off the rails. And one of the things that happens sometimes is things don't quite go right in the morning. And then people feel like the day's trash, the day's going to be horrible. And with law of attraction, once you start thinking your day is going to be terrible, the universe is going to give you what you asked for, which is a terrible day. So one of the reasons I say remember your day can get better is to not necessarily go from having a challenge or something not going right to having catastrophic thinking that the day is going to be horrible, because unfortunately that may set the tone and have that actually happen for you when you could have manifested something different. The third one is find alternatives. Sometimes things don't go our way, and there's something else we could do instead. One example would be, hey, I really wanted to go see this movie, but it's not streaming, or but there's too many people at the theater now. I didn't make it when nobody was at the theater. Or I really want to go to this restaurant, but I just realized it's not open on Mondays. And you come up with an alternative, something else you like to do. Maybe you wanted to do an activity outside and it's raining. Maybe you wanted to go to the gym and there are too many people there. Maybe you wanted to hang out with a good friend, but that friend is busy. Is that instead of lamenting over the thing that didn't quite go the way you planned it, is you come up with an alternative or something else that you may enjoy or may be helpful, because it may be a situation where there's a task you need to do, things didn't go right with it, and you may just need to find a new way to do it. But I want to encourage you to find alternatives. Can you do that for me? So today we just have three things. We're talking about three ways or things that can make your day better if things don't quite go your way. So we're going to do a quick wrap up, then get you out of there. The first thing I'm going to do is remind you, if you know anybody that needs this message, please tag them. There's a little button at the bottom. The other thing is, if you know someone that needs this, you can share. So there's a little button at the bottom for that too. And if you're watching it later, put hashtag replay in the comments. I would just love to know you're here. Don't even worry about it. We could be tardy for the party for this. All right, y'all? Because one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this topic is this is also a chaotic time for a couple of reasons. It's holiday time, so there are a lot of holidays. We just wrapped up Hanukkah. We're going into the Christmas season. We just came out of Thanksgiving. We're going into the new year. For a lot of businesses, we're at year end, which has its own things, even if fiscal year isn't at this time. So it's just there are lots of moving parts typically this time of year. Even travel, not traveling, there's just moving parts. So I wanted to talk about this because when you're dealing with so many moving parts, it's inevitable that there are going to be some times where you're going to be disappointed because it's just not quite going to go right. So I want to just give you some things to deal with that so it doesn't end up when things don't go your way, you end up feeling like it's catastrophic or spinning or start becoming more depressed or sad or anxious or mad because those emotions aren't going to serve you the way I want you to be served. So we're going to do a quick recap and then I'm getting you out of here. So the first way you can help kind of move things around, make things better, and not let these ruin your day is to reframe. So we're just talking about reframing. So putting things in another perspective. The next is to remember that your day can get better. Just because something happens as a challenge or doesn't quite go right doesn't mean that the day is just done. Like nothing can get better. Your day sucks. I don't want it to be that way. Doesn't have to be that way. But you have to remember that your day could get better because the other things we don't want you to unintentionally use law of attraction against yourself. Because sometimes people accidentally do that and you start thinking the day is going to be horrible or it's ruined or it's not going to get better. And then you manifest that. I don't want that to happen for you. You ready for the next one? I hope so. Number 3 is find alternatives. Sometimes when things don't go your way, you find other options, other alternatives. And that helps you keep from getting stuck in number 1, thinking about constantly how things didn't go right. And who knows, sometimes the alternative even ends up better than what you originally planned or originally wanted. And sometimes it might not be better, but it works. Sometimes the goal is just to make it work, straight Tim Gunn style, to have a make it work moment. And thank you so much, INA, for your help. But I just wanted to have a few moments just to talk about these things because I realize we're in a space right now where there's just a lot going on. And I don't want anybody just kind of knocked out of kilter because of everything going on. Sound like a plan? We good? All right. So I want to first say thank you for tuning in. You know, this comes on weekly. So I appreciate it. And I want to just give you a few updates. Can I give you some updates? I hope I'm okay with giving you updates. I don't know why I'm whispering like there's somebody here that can't hear. So the quick thing is number 1, thanks for listening. You know, Growth Group comes on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm always happy to spend my quality time with you and to hang out with you on Tuesdays. It's so great. The next thing is the other thing that happens on Tuesdays is my podcast episodes come out. So I have a podcast called Better with Dr. Ericka. You can find it on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all the usual suspects. Or you can go to my website, scrolling down here, betterthepodcast.com. But you can go check that out because I have new episodes that come out on Tuesdays. I'm going to wrap one thing up and then I'm going to tell you some secrets about what happened today. So the first thing is number 1, thanks for coming. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained, double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I'm on a mission to help you be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my speaking, my adult telepsychiatry practice, my book, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, and my podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, that we just talked about. I do all that to help busy people like you that give and give and give and give some more. Actually, to help put you back in your life, because a lot of times you're giving and giving and nothing's really getting poured back in, and you don't give to yourself the same way you give to others. So I want to help you with that because I want you to have that life that you were created for, that life that you deserve, that life that's out there, but somehow they don't tell you exactly how to get it, but you see it. So that's what I'm here for. So today's episode that came out talks about historically Black colleges and universities. It talks about HBCUs as a catalyst for better. I have 4 phenomenal guests. They're people that you've seen probably on other platforms with me, but 2 are some that you haven't. So it features Joy Stevens, Dwayne Meekins, B. Moore, and Rob Russell. So I really hope you check it out. It dropped today. I would love you to check it out. Now, if you like my podcast, give it a follow or subscribe. And also, if you can rate and review it, that would be so helpful. Helps me bring better content to you. But I'm so excited because, Tuesdays is the day because Growth Group with Dr. Ericka is at 7. My new podcast typically drop in the morning. And so Tuesdays like Dr. Ericka Day. But I want to just send a little love out there, tell you, give yourself a huge hug, send you out some positive energy and positive vibes with some spirit fingers, remind you that these days may be good for you. They may feel like challenges, but regardless, they can always get better. So I want you to make sure you call at least one person and tell them you love them. That's your usual prescription. I bet they'll tell you they love you back. It'll help fill your love bucket. I want you to continue to give yourself grace, continue to take care of yourself, continue to wear your mask, continue to stay safe from the COVID, as my daddy calls it. And I will be very happy to see you next week. And, feel free to stick comments. I will definitely circle back to them. And that's what I got for you tonight. So have a wonderful night. It was lovely seeing you. Take care.